All right. Amazon today introduced the latest in smart store tech with the introduction of Amazon Dash Cart, a grocery store shopping cart that identifies then charges you for the items you place inside its baskets. The cart will first be made available at Amazon grocery store, opening in Woodland Hill, California later this year, the retailer says. The cart today isn't meant for your standard grocery shopping trips where you're stocking up. Instead, Amazon explains the smart cart can handle small to medium-sized grocery trips of 2 bags or fewer.
Yep, so as you place the item in the cart, it automatically charges your card. Well, it charges your cart. It puts it in
your cart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like your online cart when you put it in your physical cart, and then when you wheel it out the door, it charges your account because you check out.
That's actually
pretty
ingenious.
Nifty. Pretty nifty.
I like it.
Pretty nifty. Amazon's trying to open up their own retail and grocery stores where they only have.
Aren't they already Whole Foods?
Yes, they do have Whole Foods. Yes. That's probably where they're rolling it out to initially try. But then the reason they're making a shopping cart is so that people like Walmart and stuff can buy their tech. They get money off of it, for selling the tech to them. But then the point is that they want grocery stores to only have like people that stock the shelves and security. And that's it. No cashiers and nothing like that. Just people that stock the shelves and people that guard the doors.
Man, what would be the point of guarding the doors if people, when they walk out, immediately get charged?
Because you don't put it in the shopping cart.
I mean, yeah, but what do you? I mean, granted, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
The point, though, they do want to get it to the point that when you walk in, you have some sort of Amazon. I don't know if it'd be like a card or, your Apple Watch or something like that. So when you walk in, it's like, boop, opens up your shopping cart. And then when you just take it off the shelf.
We should reference it as a smartwatch because screw Apple.
Okay, yeah, good point. I agree, screw Apple.
Are we filming the ground? It is at a weird angle.
I'll double check, but no, I don't think so. Yeah. It was working so fine earlier. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. All
right. Oh my
okay. Goodness. I'll check on it in a minute.
We should bring the
tripod.
Yes. From Dylan's house.
I totally agree. That'd be great because we don't need to film there anymore.
Yeah, we don't. And then we could just have it on there.
That would be awesome. I bet that would be really good
Dude,
quality.
that would help so much with so much.
Yeah, we should get a tripod. We have a tripod.
Oh my god.
Wow, look at us not doing anything.
You know what's actually really, though, that brings up a point that I was thinking about is it's really embarrassing to think the fact that we actually have a lot of equipment.
What'd you say?
We have a lot of equipment that we don't utilize.
Yeah.
Like, we have microphones other than the lapel mics that we bought recently. Those we can't use because of how we're filming.
Right, we have to go through the computer.
Yes.
Which we did. Honestly, I didn't think the quality was improved much. It felt like, but that's because we were using it as a universal mic for everybody. But if they were individual mics, I'm sure they would be higher quality.
And then, I mean, at the point, you can just change the channels on those. But these are amazing,
dude,
honestly.
The great stuff, man.
I mean, quality-wise, they're not amazing, but they do
it's definitely a step up. Yes. It is totally a step up.
They do the job.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's a step up? Do you think we're going in the right direction here?
I mean, I definitely think we're going. I think they won't think we're going in the right direction.
No, they're just gonna be. No, you guys are garbage. You suck, and you'll never stop sucking.
You know what?
You don't ever have anything to talk about because you don't have life experience.
What is life experience?
Don't we have it just from living?
Yeah, that's exactly what that. Like, life experience really comes down to
maybe I think it means you just haven't done anything cool, and it's like I beg to differ.
I've done a lot of interesting stuff.
I've done cool stuff.
I mean, I've flown in a Black Hawk. That was a lot of fun.
See, look at that.
That was a lot of fun. Honestly, he flipped it upside down.
You can do that?
I didn't know you could. He did it like a pendulum.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like one of those boat, the sailing ship at like Six Flags and stuff.
Exactly.
To then...
Yeah, and then he immediately got taken off of it. The pilot, he was like, you guys want to see something cool? And the group that I was with was like,
yes,
yeah,
of course we do.
And then he's like, all right, it flies really high. And he goes, and starts doing it. I'm like, oh my God, you can feel that G-force. And then he goes,
man.
whoop. Ooh.
Oh,
like,
man.
But you could tell, like, the moment he did the upside down, like, it was almost like we bottomed out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
well,
we
yeah,
start falling. And then,
stall. It stalls.
and then what is it? Centrifugal? Whatever. The force, your G-force actually still carried us.
Yeah.
The movement. Momentum. That's what I was looking for.
Momentum. Mm-hmm.
Our momentum is what fully got us around. And it was just like, woo.
I'm sure you lost a lot more. That's why you raised it up so high. Is because I bet it took it a minute to recatch.
Yes. I'm pretty sure we lost a lot of ground. But it was a blast. It was absolutely fun.
Yeah.
And then
the military's like, no.
And then he landed it. Yeah, because we were at an Air Force base when he did it. And then he landed it. And then the next thing I know, some soldiers came up. It was like, hey, yeah, they want you at blah blah blah. He's like, bye guys. Like, you can see the look on his face, like he knew he had messed up.
Yeah, dude, that was probably very intentional. That's probably like, I don't want to fly kids around all day, so I'm just gonna do something that is gonna get me in trouble so that I can leave.
I mean, he probably did, because then like he left, and then the next pilot came in and sat down. I was like, all right, so we're gonna do blah 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 blah, and all his stuff sounded boring, so I got out.
Oh, so we're just gonna fly in a helicopter?
Yeah, I was like,
I've already flown in a helicopter.
Like, I was doing.
Let's do flips and aileron rolls, please.
Yes, because like I was flying in helicopters with my parents when I was like 10 years old, so it was like helicopters or whatever. It was like, but this guy wanted to do a backflip in one, and I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, that's freaking cool, man. See, that's cool.
So, like,
see, life experience.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, that's what we're getting at. So, life experience. Is it actually important to do cool things? Yes, you could have a cool story and stuff like that.
Important?
Yeah, like, I mean, for what we're doing, for the purpose of what we're doing. Is it actually important? I don't think it is, because
no, there's plenty of people out there that I don't think have done that much cool stuff, and they're still really charismatic and can hold my attention.
Yes, and I was going to say, there's one guy I watch, and he has talked about his job at Subway, and I'm going to use it the way he says it.
Because they like to sue people.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what the knife has to do with this. Oh, that's awesome. Actually, but anyways, yeah, he worked at Subway, and he has like 4 or 5 stories about that. They're all really, in the grand scheme of things, dull. But I love how he tells.
There's this other YouTuber that I like a few of his videos, but like when it comes to him telling stories about his life, they're all when I worked at GameStop, and it's like, wow, these stories are actually really boring.
Yes, but they do such a great job telling it.
Yeah, it's like that's interesting enough.
Yeah, I mean, but he has visuals, the guy that I watch, so I guess that probably helps a lot.
Yeah,
with like because he just makes exaggerated visuals and stuff.
Okay,
like
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's funny.
I've never done anything cool though.
I mean, you've flown out of the country more times than I have.
Yeah.
And
I've
gone to a lot of other places.
Yeah. Yeah, like that time that I got vaguely threatened and mugged when I was in Belize.
Okay, I still have to ask, how are you vaguely mugged?
Well, because the dude came up, because I was waiting outside of a grocery store.
Yeah.
Because, even though we're tourists, we immediately, anywhere we go, we immediately leave the tourist section and go into the heart of downtown. It's not going to work.
Oh, yeah, it's got a round.
Yeah. We would immediately, oh, cool, the beach, cool. All right, we're going to go to downtown where all the locals hang out.
Yeah,
and so,
you got to get a feel for the actual location.
Yeah, so we were in downtown Belize, and we went to a grocery store to get some snacks because it's way cheaper than the tourist restaurants and stuff. So we were like, let's get food at the grocery store.
Yeah.
So we went to the grocery store, and I looked around and I was getting bored or whatever. It was just my dad and I. And so I went outside to just chill outside, wait for him to get done shopping because I was just bored.
Yeah.
And then a dude walked up.
How long can you really be in a grocery store?
A dude walked up and started smoking a cigarette or whatever, and he was like, oh, you're not from around here? I'm like, no. Yeah. He's like, you're from America? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, these streets, man, people die on these streets. And I'm like, uh-huh. And he's like, yeah, they'll just come up and cut you. And I'm like, yep, that sucks, man. That's not happening where I live. It's like, well, you lucky, because people are expecting money or they'll kill you. And I was like, yeah, it'd be cool if I had money. And he's like, all right, man, you have a good day. And he left. And I'm like, all right. So I'm pretty sure that was like a vague, does this guy have money? Because I'm going to mug him if he has money.
But then you're like,
I don't even have any money. Yeah, because I don't know. Sometimes it depends. Around like 17 to 23, I was a kind of ambiguous age.
Yeah.
You know, of like he could be an adult or a kid, who knows?
Yeah.
And then, so at the time, I think he thought I was older. You know, because I don't even remember how old I was, but
Yeah, it was between those times.
yeah. But he seemed like a nice guy.
I mean, we have actually hung out with some very
Nefarious.
Yes, nefarious people, I think probably is the right way to say that.
Yeah.
And not known that.
Oh no, we were just having a good time.
Yeah, until a situation took place that we were like, this is what you are. I didn't know that. I just thought you were a cool guy.
I just drove you to the gas station because you wanted snacks and you offered to buy me one.
Yeah.
All right,
and then they
camera's good.
Decided they were gonna threaten some other person with a gun. It was like,
oh yeah, we'll get into that some other day.
That
I think we have
funny.
to wait a few more years.
Yeah.
For the statute of limitations, because like I have no like we didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah, but what
we didn't
did
do
they
anything
do that was illegal technically?
I
mean, I guess the threatening with a gun probably was.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but because police were involved and stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I do want to clarify. We didn't do anything that involved police or anything like that. We just happened to hang out at a park with some people who then turned out to not be the upstanding citizens that we thought they were when we met them.
I mean, observation should have probably told us, but I think at that time we were also hanging out with people who appeared to be bad, but were actually good people. Like,
right, that they were doing it for fashion in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's trendy.
Yes, exactly. So I guess to our eyes, they probably just appeared the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And you know, we're not judgmental people.
No, but also
we let your characteristics and actions.
Honestly, just want to get to the fact that though the cops did show up, I don't think they were technically doing anything truly illegal.
I don't know. We'll tell the story sometime.
Yeah,
we'll tell the story.
We can dissect it then.
Because there's we're definitely gonna get Chrissy on, just so she can tell her side of the story.
Oh right, because
she was at a concert.
Yeah.
Because we dropped her off at the concert and then we were late to pick her up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun story. We'll get around to it.
Then let's start with this story today. I actually want to discuss rom-coms.
Oh.
So
rom-coms.
Do
we have any examples?
Of rom-com movies?
Yeah. Are you talking about like You Got Mail? I've seen that one. You Got Mail.
No,
and I think My Big Fat Greek Wedding, is that a rom-com? I think I've seen that one.
Probably.
And then what's the one about the dude who gets a heart transplant and then she falls in, it was like her husband's heart and then he passes away and then the person that gets the transplant she falls in love with.
I don't think it's the movie I'm thinking of, but for some reason all that made me think of was Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't think it's that one, but it might be. But I've seen that one too. I've seen a few. I watched them with my mom.
No, so I don't have any examples of any rom-coms. You can imagine whatever rom-com you wish.
What about
the Spotless Mind of the?
That's not a comedy. That's not a comedy. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's comedy.
Or would that be a month ago? Let's see that was about a month and a half ago.
It's comedically humorous.
It was about a month and a half
ago.
It
may have not been intentionally made comedically, but to me it was comedically humorous.
No, but what about Princess Bride?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a rom-com?
I think so. I think it's technicality.
Okay.
Either way, though, the question, though, really comes down to, no matter if you have a rom-com in mind or not, is, do rom-coms have it right? Is the one you are overlooking the one you should have been chasing?
That's a good question.
I'm going to back it up with a side story, which is that Zach and I were watching a movie, which was a rom-com.
Oh, God. Are you guys... Never mind.
No. It so happened to be because we went to comedy section on Netflix, and Adam Devine was in the movie, and I was like, I like Adam Devine.
That name's familiar.
Did you ever watch Workaholics?
Oh, which one is he?
He's a short one.
Yeah, he's the one I think does the most stuff, doesn't he?
Yes.
Outside of
he does a lot of stuff outside the show. So we were watching that. We were watching a movie with him in it, and it was clearly a rom-com, and it's called When I First Met You, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And he keeps going back in time and talking to this girl.
50 First Dates?
Yeah.
Well, 50 First Dates wasn't it because she had amnesia?
Yeah, his is literally he's going back in time. Okay, so like,
All right, it sounds dumb.
it is. It's really dumb, but he
It
makes
sounds like a
funny.
terrible version of Groundhog Day.
And
Groundhog Day is a good movie.
yeah, but aren't all movies? If you really think about it, all movies that are come out in this time period are not
Oh, they all
generically-
suck. Yeah.
They're not their own things. They are taken from an original creation and
The last good movie was Into the Spider-Verse.
built into it. That's debatable. Anyways, though, so he keeps going back in time, and I looked at Zach and was like, he's gonna fall in love with this chick within probably about 2 minutes of the movie. When like all the characters were actually introduced, I was like, this is the one he's gonna end up with. I'll be blown away if I'm wrong.
Okay.
And she was the girl that was just like,
Hold on. Mute. Hello. You're gonna wanna, hold on. This is gonna be terrible audio. No, it's just gonna be a bunch of.
okay.
All right.
Back on.
You can unmute your video.
So, anyways, sorry, I forgot what I was getting at.
Oh, you called the woman he was gonna wind up with in the end.
Yes, Ed, he does and doesn't. And I actually like the way that they chose to do it. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
he was chasing this one girl
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie, keeps failing. And then finally he was like, it's because I wasn't destined for her. And I was like, that's a dumb choice. And then they were like, they didn't retcon it because they didn't come back through the whole movie and change it. It was just eventually he was like, no, I guess it wasn't destiny. He's like, I just was looking at the wrong person. And it's like, yes, I think that may be what the case is. And so my question is, in real life, when we chase these people that we're like, this is the one, and then we meet all of these other people who could potentially be the one along the way, right? And we just ignore them because we're so narrow focused on the one that we actually miss the person who would probably treat us the best, be the most.
I think that is totally possible.
And so I'm just curious. I'm like, do rom-coms truly have it right that we focus way too hard when we don't stumble into love? Because no one actually finds love; they stumble into it, and they don't know it.
Point. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'll accept that. Yeah.
And like,
Then I guess I just say yeah. Sure. I guess rom-coms have it right, but I don't think that that's always the case. I think the thing is, it depends on what movie you're looking at, because sometimes in these movies, they're obviously both are wrong, and it's like the person in the end that they're like, see, in the end, it was the one you didn't think it was, and it's like, yeah, because they're all terrible. Every character in this movie is awful. They're all terrible people.
This is the beautiful part about rom-coms, at least in my opinion, is that the people who are chasing these people so hard, so furiously, they're terrible because of their personality, because of what they're doing to other people going after this one person.
True. And then usually the person they're going after is also an awful human being.
But them themselves are just terrible, and you feel like they're terrible because of how they're treating the person that's doggedly chasing them. And they're just like, get away from me, you awful human being.
Yeah, and then you have the actual love interest in the end, and then she's terrible because there's no way she should put up with the behavior.
Yes, why did she stay around for this guy who clearly gives no crap about her
Because
the whole
in
time?
the end, he does. But then you also have the rom-coms that's about, I think the trope is called the pixie. The rom-com's about the pixie, where it's the girl with like the colored hair and she doesn't fit in, she's a little quirky, she does silly things. And
Yeah, those are terrible rom-coms.
just saying,
Continue.
That's another thing where usually by the end of it I'm like, why? Why are you guys together?
Also, one of the things that I always wanted to know is like that because they always do the thing with the pixie where it's like she's weird and all this and no one knows certain until all of a sudden she takes off her glasses.
Well, that's in everything though. That's in everything. Every movie where it's the girl who is now beautiful, and the only thing there's actually I've watched a YouTube video by that dude that makes those animation things I showed you, the one where it's like the video game, like the mafia members or whatever.
Yeah.
So I watched another video he made where it was a director was doing tryouts for the lead female role in a romantic comedy.
Okay.
And she's wearing glasses and everything. And like the whole premise though is that like the character doesn't relate at all, where it's like, so he's like doing things like, okay, so the lead character, she like, isn't the most popular, girl in school. She kind of gets picked on and everything and like overlooked. Can you relate? And like, no, I can't relate to that at all. No, all my friends really love me, blah, blah, blah. I get along with other people. It's like, okay, well, like, she's into like obscure indie music, you know, like do you listen to any indie music? It's like, no, you should just listen to whatever's on the radio. You know, like they're doing this whole like going through all the tropes, and the chick is just like, no, not at all. And then at the end she's like, I guess this really isn't a part for me. I'll just audition for something else. He's like, wait, hold on. And then he puts glasses on her, and he's like, you've got the part. You've got the part.
Let's put these glasses on you. Because everyone knows you wear glasses, you immediately are
ugly. You're ugly.
As sin.
You're the ugliest person in the world if you wear glasses, obviously.
Oh my
obviously.
God.
That's why I don't wear them.
That's why I don't have chicks.
Because I'm handsome.
Dang it.
I like this setup, by the way. I like this whole, like, we're actually sitting across the table looking at
discussing
each other.
things?
Instead of freaking sitting sideways looking at the camera, because F the camera. I like this better.
But I like looking at the people as well. I was thinking about that throughout these past couple of episodes because I've been staring at you.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's better to. It helps me engage more.
That's fair. I was just thinking about it in the sense of like.
That's why we need to. That's why we need to do the two cameras so that there's one on you facing me and there's one on me facing you, so that we can switch between them, so that it does look like we're looking at the camera, talking to the people while we're just talking to each other. And it's both will be nice, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section of, whether or not...
We're going to be harping you guys about the comment section.
Yes. You've been trying for years, and I
finally gave up.
I finally broke, and now you're like, whatever, Austin. Why are you on and on about like, comment, and subscribe? And I'm like, you broke me, James. You broke me. I'm doing it.
But you broke me in the opposite direction.
What this 2-year journey? This 2-year journey where we've flipped. Where I'm like, you're like, we got to keep promote, and I'm like, nah, man, just let it happen. It'll just happen. And then now you're like, nah, man, it'll just happen. I'm like, promote.
But we have to decide at this some point. Not at this point, but at some point.
Nah, whatever.
But yeah, no. Okay, so getting back to the ROM though.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
The whole thing that I got at though with Zach was, I'm like, Zach's been saying he wants to see new people, meet new people. I'm like, but you keep going back to this one person. I'm like,
no, but like, let's look at the whole bar incident.
I know.
Which is referenced. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. We talked about when James went to the bar in North Carolina with Zach. So go back there for reference to what the story is.
It's just blowing my mind though that he chose not to say anything. And
I know, it's hilarious.
That's what gets me. Is I'm like, you talk about wanting to meet new people and you refuse. He's been telling me about these experiences he's been having at the gym that he goes to.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's this girl, she's really hot. And I'm like, okay, you talking to her? He's like, no, I'm more there to work out. I'm like, I get that.
Good
I respect that.
Yeah.
But she is going out of her way on a consistent basis to, at least based off what he's telling me, he's like, because he's acknowledging that she's doing these things. Mm-hmm. This is what probably makes it worse.
Okay.
Is that he's like, I'm there to work out. But I am acknowledging that you are putting in effort. But my effort level towards you is non-existent whatsoever. Like, he'll talk to her because there's a friend that he works out with there that basically almost forces him to talk. And he's like, I'm there to work out, but they're just there around me, blocking my path basically to do what I want to do. So then I'm just stuck talking.
I get he's very dedicated.
And
like that's the thing. I feel like I totally get where he's coming from though, because whenever I go to do a thing, I'm like, no, I'm here to do this thing, and then I'm leaving. Yeah, I stop distracting me. I don't want to talk. I want to do this and go.
That's something I agree with when it comes to work. Okay, work. I'm like, that's my job.
Working
that's
out.
What I'm doing.
It's called work for a reason.
Working out is something that people get addicted to because of other. Anyways, I'm gonna go. That's a different subject that I listened to about on a podcast for about 3 hours. We'll go into that another time.
Yeah, totally. We should check the. Yeah, keep going.
But like,
I want to check the time.
I think outside of work though, you should.
We do need to wrap it up in a couple minutes.
Outside of work, you should progress. You should move forward. If I get you have a dedication or something, and you can make that thing your work, right? You can make almost anything work if you really want to. Yeah. Like where you're like, this is the mindset I have, so it becomes work.
Right. But also, we've discussed that we think that a few of our friends are a little too stressed out about everything in life.
Yes.
And that could go into that same mentality of like, I'm here to do a thing, don't get in my way, could also be a form of stress that you're putting on yourself.
You are mentally stressing yourself out because of the fact you are so narrow focused, so hardcore on one thing that and if anything messes with that plan, mentally you get flustered. Everyone goes through that. Everyone will know that when they're at a work or when they're doing something that they really like and then someone comes in and bugs them about it. They get into this weird flustered mind state and they have to calm themselves down and get back into it, right? I can guarantee almost everyone goes through that. Whether it be work or whatever.
Man, the weather's looking much better out there, man. I kind of want to go out there and record.
Kind of is. But nonetheless.
Sorry,
so wrapping up.
I don't like this.
You're good. Wrapping up, though.
I'm going to look this way.
You should focus more.
Yeah.
On actual things in life that matter. Shut up. On things in life that matter. And if your goal in life is to find someone special or whatever, like how the rom-com show us, it's probably the person you're not chasing, okay? So stop chasing all these crazy things, stressing yourself out. When people are coming out of their way to be with you or talk to you or do this stuff, just do it. See what happens. Yeah, Yes Man, okay? Yes Man's a rom-com, okay?
Oh yeah, it probably is. I'll give you one thing. I do think that it's probably more beneficial to pay attention to what's happening around you, and if you're pursuing someone and they're not showing anything back, but someone's pursuing you and showing those signs at least, dude, just accept it.
Well, at least talk to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to like them.
Right.
But just
give it a shot.
Yeah. See what's going on. Yeah. And then once after the first hangout, because we're not going to call it a date, because you guys have to know each other, get to learn.
Yeah.
And so after the first hangout, if you're like, that's just not me, that's one thing.
I would love to see an extended ending to a rom-com where it's like, wow, it was the one I wasn't paying attention to at all. And then they go on their first date and he's like, oh, no, let's break up. No. Or she does, actually. I think that'd be funnier, right? Since the movie's usually about the dude trying to find love, generally it's about a woman trying to find love. I don't know. I guess it depends. Yeah, it really depends. But it would just be great to see the rom-com that's about a guy who's pursuing this chick and it's just not working out. And at the very end, he turns and he's like, oh, it was my best friend this whole time that I should have been with. And they go on a date and then she's like, actually, let's break up. I didn't know this about you. I don't like this about your personality.
It's like, somehow I was so enthralled with your chase that I forgot who you were.
And I'm done. I don't want to try this. And that's where the movie ends.
That would be cool. Yeah. All right, but that was the conversation.
So did we learn anything?
Yeah, no. I just wanted to ask the question. What we learned didn't really matter. My question for you guys in turn is, are you chasing someone that
No, this is a dumb question.
Chase?
That's a dumb question.
No, that's my question. Are you chasing someone you shouldn't chase? You look at your own life, figure that out.
Well, I have a question.
All right.
Do you think rom-coms have it right?
I mean, yeah. That was the initial question, so you could answer that too.
Because I'd like to see, because I don't feel like we actually gave an answer. I think we just talked about it for almost a half hour.
I didn't plan on actually having an answer. It was going to be an ambiguous thing where I just ask that question and we talk about it.
And we did.
Yeah, that's all. So if you guys have an answer to that question,
then we'll see you next week. And in a few months, we'll maybe read the comment.
Yeah, and then I'll forget.
Well, by the way, Bear Thing totally does read the comments regularly, and sometimes he even responds to people.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't read those comments.
Yeah, no. I don't know what they're even about, though. That's why I thought it'd be good for us to sit down and respond to the comments. Yeah. Anyways, but we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.